Dyslexia was first clinically described in the 1880s. Back then, they coined a phrase for it. They called it word blindness, or twisted words. Simply put, it is a difficulty with reading. Numerous successful people, all gifted and accomplished, have had difficulty with dyslexia. Albert Einstein, Winston Churchill, Steve Jobs, Pablo Picasso, and John Lennon each simply processed written information differently in their brain. This visual, brain-based problem of processing written language is the most common learning disorder on our planet. Consider these facts. It occurs across our nation's population, among all genders, incomes, and racial groups. Today, 20% of U.S. students suffer from dyslexia. It is the root cause of their learning disabilities. And every single day, 8,000 U.S. students drop out of school because of their struggle with dyslexia. More than 20% of our entire population have had language-based learning disabilities. And in minority and high-poverty schools, 80% of children have inadequate reading skills. Furthermore, more than half of all Americans today read below a 6th grade level. That means being unable to fully understand the instructions on a pill bottle or comprehend a bus schedule. Where you live, whether in the inner city or rural countryside, whether you have limited access to education or other basic services, should not and must not determine how well you are able to read. Moreover, some families invest large sums of money on private schools and tutoring, on evaluations, on counseling, and on dyslexia products. And as you would expect, many low-income students get left behind. And sadly, dyslexia can also be a pipeline to incarceration. 50% of those confined have dyslexia. While there is no cure for a mother's heartache or salve for a father's anguish upon learning their youngster has a lifelong and curable disability like dyslexia, there is light at the end of the tunnel, a bright light. Indeed, there now exists genuine hope for real change. Hillary Summerbell grew up in McLean, Virginia, and struggled throughout grade school with reading and numbers. She was unsure why, until she realized her brain just processed information differently. Surely it wasn't her fault she was dyslexic. What she needed was a different teaching method. Later in life, as a successful design professional, Hillary Summerbell discovered something quite exceptional and extraordinary. She realized if she arranged letters, words, sentences, and numbers in a certain curved arc formation, she was immediately able to read and comprehend at a level she had never experienced before. The Summerbell method was born. Today, there are dozens of methods, products, and tools in the marketplace, from colored overlays to special glasses, all designed to help dyslexics learn to read. Yet astonishingly, there exists no real evidence and no documented academic research that such merchandise provides any genuine significant benefit. The essential difference which sets the Summerbell method apart from all the other time-worn ones is that not one of them was developed uniquely by someone with dyslexia. The Summerbell reading method is now available as a browser extension on Google Chrome. Summerbell helps dyslexic and non-conventional readers to read text on the internet with increased comprehension. At the Summerbell reading method, we seek to transform the lives of kids and adults with dyslexia and other learning differences. By implementing our patent-pending reading method, we will enable people to better use their innate visual spatial abilities to become independent readers. In doing so, we close the learning gap not only for kids in the K-12 system, but also for adults. Also, with the push of a button, Summerbell transforms standard linear text into the unique Summerbell arc. Now, nearly any online text can be converted into a distraction-free experience. The Summerbell curve makes reading more comfortable by allowing you to adjust the radius of the curves, change the spacing between curves, and change the number of words per line. You can even change the font size, and your settings are saved for next time. Or to go back to the default settings, press the reset button. When a reader has trouble decoding or reading a word, they just highlight it, and the Summerbell Word Helper tool chunks the word with each part on a different arc. Word Helper also shows definitions, parts of speech, and synonyms, making it much easier to learn new words. Readers can even check their pronunciation with the speaker button,
Education,
to help sound it out. Summerbell works on almost all websites, emails, and in other languages, and even with ebooks downloaded from sites like projectgutenberg.org and openlibrary.org. If there is ever a case that Summerbell doesn't auto-convert, just highlight the text, and when you're ready to see the original web page again, just click on the Summerbell icon. Now reading offline is easier too, since you can save and print your arced text version. Give it a try today. Just download the free Summerbell Chrome extension and pin it in your browser window so it's visible whenever you're on the web. You'll immediately experience a greater ease of reading. The Summerbell reading method instantly makes reading easier for people with dyslexia and for other non-conventional readers. Summerbell, reshaping the art of reading. In the past 2 years in the Washington, D.C. metropolitan area, more than a dozen professionally trained teachers, all skilled in explicit reading instruction for dyslexic children, use the Summerbell method in sessions to help dyslexic children develop their reading skills. All the teachers' experiences were heartening. A number of their comments were eye-opening. Listen to just 4 of their voices.
What Summerbell does is gives that confidence to try.
When I showed it to a student I'd been working with for years who had dyslexia, her face just lit up, just seeing the text in this arc.
You can almost see like a light bulb going off, saying like, wow, this is what my brain needs. This is exactly how I'm going to be the most successful.
I've never seen a tool that supports non-traditional readers in a way that the Summerbell reading method does.
I've been in the field of education for 22 years now. This is so unique. It's just a different way to learn.
Students are showing improvement with their decoding, their fluency, their attention to the details, and just in general, their confidence in how they feel about reading.
Students can write their papers in the ARC. It truly makes it accessible in all areas.
I just see this program helping so many people.
It's going to be transformative as it's used in tutoring sessions, in classrooms, in people's independent lives. Hillary has created something beautiful and functional.
Using the Summerbell method, dyslexic children can now learn to read with the same ease as other children by transforming conventional linear text, that is reading lines across from left to right, into a unique, reformatted arc shape. In effect, to read smarter, not harder. They simply reshape the text to curved, not horizontal. Furthermore, students can begin using the simple and intuitive tools immediately. This Summerbell software arc improves their ability to track across the page, and the adjustable spacing between the lines allows them to read down the page. And the personalized font size and letter spacing gives each student a unique ability to fine-tune what works best for them. It is an accessibility tool enabling access to every website compliant with the Americans with Disabilities Act, as well as the Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. Simply stated, it is an innovative, groundbreaking approach to helping dyslexics learn to read. It is endorsed by professional special education teachers who have seen firsthand that changing the shape of reading does indeed bring about positive results. Even better, knowing that reading is the gateway to all future learning, one of the eloquent special education tutors exclaimed, "They can believe, they can dream, they can soar." The opportunities for future progress are boundless. Our hope is to facilitate collaboration and meaningful partnerships among key stakeholders to discover, develop, and deploy solutions to conquering dyslexia, as well as to ensure that all dyslexics, especially those with the fewest resources, have access to the websites and opportunities they need to succeed in school and later in life. Although greater growth invariably leads to greater opportunity, It will first require an imminent research study on student reading achievement conducted in a public school setting by the School of Education at Johns Hopkins University. For all the men and women who have labored over the many decades trying to help dyslexic children learn to read, our journey may have been different, but our destination has been the same: defeating dyslexia. Our road hasn't been smooth, and yet our journey is still not over. In truth, we cannot allow this age of opportunity to be remembered for the opportunities missed. Picture the benefits our collective efforts could mean to our schools and our society. Imagine the numerous hopeful prospects the Summerbell method offers. All of them are ambitious, and all of them are achievable. Indeed, this is the valuable change so many have been waiting for over so many years. We do this for ourselves, for our children, and for our world.